Welcome back to this episode of Smash Engineering. Today we're going to be showing you how to flush your sand filter if it starts to get clogged, or if you just haven't done it yet, or if, in my case, the chlorine generator had said low flow, low pump flow, something like that. So we're going to show you how to fix that, and just in general how to flow the pump, backflow the pump, and clean the pump, and what all the little symbols on the pump mean, so that way you're better equipped to handle your sand filter. So let's get to it.
Smash Engineering.
So if your pump is running but your device is saying low flow, it is time to do a flush. And if you don't know what a flush is or what it consists of, this is your video here. So what I got here, and it's kind of crude, but I have just a spare hose that I had, and it's attached to the outlet. And the purpose of this is, otherwise if you don't do this, it just shoots out here and digs a hole and makes a muddy mess. That when you do it like this, you can kind of direct where the water goes. So you can use like a garden hose, you could attach that and dump it somewhere out in your yard. But so what we're going to do is we're going to shut our pump off. Whenever the pump's off, you can check this here to make sure that it's kind of like a skimmer, make sure it's not full of stuff, which that one's not. So we're going to turn this to, it's underneath there. It kind of looks like a reverse or rewind. You can see it starts flowing out, but you want to actually turn the pump on for a few minutes until this comes out clear. As you can see, it's pretty murky. But I like to do it here so it doesn't dig a hole. I kind of set these here and let it spray on this so it disperses. As soon as the water starts coming out clear, it'll be time for the next step. And the next step, what this does is forces water backwards up through the sand that you have down in the sand filter in here. So right now it's pumping water down through a tube all the way to the bottom. If you listen, I don't know if you can hear it. You hear the sand kind of flicking around in there. So yeah, now we have clear water coming out. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the pump back off. We're gonna go to the water droplet and turn this back on. Now what that does is push water down on the top. It levels your sand bed, and it will get any remaining gunk and stuff off the surface. So that looks good. Now we're gonna shut that off, go back to normal operation, which is the play looking sign. Looks like the YouTube play button. So you know what, since we're talking about a YouTube play button, go ahead, pause the video or whatever, go down and throw a like on here for me. Throw a comment down below. Tell me how your day is going. Tell me, what's going on with you, if you like. I really do appreciate everyone watching, so throw a like on here, subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, so this is your normal, this will filter the water. See if it'll focus here. And this is like a bypass of the filter. This will pump water through here. It'll use it like just a pump without the filter. So say you wanted to run your solar heater without using the filter for some odd reason, you could turn it just to this, and that will bypass the pump, which will get you a little more pressure, probably a little, I would imagine it'd have to be a little higher flow. But so anyway, put it back for this purposes of what we're doing in this video. Put it back on the play button and turn it on. The reason that this, or the part of this, see if I can find it down in there for the focus. Let me turn this back off for just a second. So see that little flap that's right here? There's a little flap right there. That's the flow indicator. That tells it that there's water flowing. So if you watch when I turn this back on, that flap gets pushed over. That just tells it that yes, there's enough flow going through it and that it's safe for it to turn it on. So now we're gonna go ahead and reset this, clear our error. We're gonna turn it on, and since this hasn't been running in a while, I'm gonna turn on my boost, which is just hold down the boost button. And then when the boost, it's not blinking in real life, it picks it up as a blink on the camera, but it's solid. This one's solid and this one's blinking slow, but in the camera they're both blinking. But anyway, now you're back to normal operation and you're good to go. When the pump, or I'm sorry, when the sand in there gets a little gunked up, the flow will slow down. This will detect lower flow, and it'll cause that low flow, or is it that pump low flow alarm to kick on. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but I stuck, just for safety purposes, since I've put the pool together, I've stuck an on-off valve here, which it's the hoses that come out here. It's the, I guess, inlet hoses for the pump. I have stuck an on-off valve there. If for some reason, you know, my kids or someone were here and it started leaking, what you can do is just turn this off. And as long as the leak isn't between this spot and there, or this spot and there, it's going to shut down the leak. So if the O-ring or something blows, or something, a animal chews a hole in this or whatever, if you come out and see a leak, you can simply shut it off there. It's also good for when you're maintaining these systems. You can shut that on-off valve off, and you can, you know, flush out your sand, like, you know, actually physically take the sand out and replace it. Any other maintenance you might want to do. If you need to clean out your trap, you can do that. If you need to rearrange this and drain it, you can shut that off. And of course, I also have one here, which is the so the pump water, the water comes in through these, goes through this tube, goes through the pump, goes through the sand filter, this larger white tube, into the chlorine generator, out the chlorine generator, and into the solar cover, or the solar mat, whatever you want to call it, and then out of the solar mat back into the pool. So it's important to keep these things operating efficiently. If you end up with too much resistance, too much block and flow or anything like that, well, for one, the pump will be working harder than it should be, and of course your chlorine generator will stop working. But other than that, I have to say, review-wise, of the Bestway pool, other than like having to do the splash guards, which I made a video about that, and of course having somewhere to set your snacks, drinks, Bluetooth speaker, stuff like that, and then of course a safety ladder. I highly, highly, highly recommend a safety ladder. There is no getting back someone who is drowned in your life, whether it be someone who's special needs, or a child, or just someone that doesn't know they shouldn't be in the pool alone, something like that. There's just no getting someone back. So spend the money, get yourself some kind of safety ladder or something, or if you have a removable ladder, remember to remove it. I mean, I know this wasn't intended to be part of my video, but really, it's so sad when you hear about, you know, a toddler or a special needs person has fallen in the pool and no one knew it, and they get exhausted and unfortunately perish. So, but anyway, I hope this helps you. I hope it's not that big of a deal to backflush these, but I did see on one of my videos someone had asked, or it might have been a message, but someone had asked how to backflow it, because the symbols on there are a little bit confusing, and I will admit they are. I had to look up like the decoder for what these all mean, because I mean, that one's kind of self-explanatory. It kind of means off or no flow, but all these different symbols definitely don't just stand out and mean something naturally. So actually, you know what I'll do, hopefully I remember, I really hope, what I'll do is put a picture, a screenshot of what those are, what I found, so that way you know. But I'll put that right now, and I'll leave it up there for a few minutes if you want to pause it, screenshot it, save it, whatever. That way you'll have kind of like a key to what all those symbols mean. So with all that, that's pretty much going to sum up this episode. This pool has been a large series. I did not intend it to be this summer, but it is, and I hope it's helping you. It seems like there's been quite a bit of engagement with it, but I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe, throw a thumbs up on there, comment, let me know how your day is going, and let's all just try to put positivity back into the atmosphere of the world. There's, I don't know, inflation and the political climate and viruses and everything else is just kind of chaotic out there, and it's affecting all of us in some type of way. So just try to remember that the people around you are human too. They love and hurt and cry just like you do, just like I do, and we should try to have more compassion and love. And I appreciate you watching, and until next time.